The Kings of Swiss round 5 and the GOATs of making a grand final are about to face off. Only one team can make it out though. Who will it be? We've got Luminosity versus GENG in our last matchup of the day here on Friday. Swiss, let's get into it.
I don't even want to ask you who you think is going to go through.
Please don't.
Curse them. I'm not going to lie. So, who would have thought, though? Who would have thought that GENG Luminosity would be in this position? They've been in a round 5 position at Copenhagen, but they're at the top. They're both top 8, at least GENG were top 8 in the world, and Luminosity went the distance in Swiss and Copenhagen. So this is just such a strange occurrence. GENG almost reverse swept too, which they could have had an even easier day. But for now, they got to face the LG boys.
Yeah, this is, like you said, it's a strange occurrence. I feel like we've gotten that vibe throughout the beginning of the day too, you know, with Cloud9 going down and then OG's going up, and it's been all over the place for everybody and their mom, it feels like right now. But Luminosity versus GENG, it's weird because Luminosity, excuse me, is coming off of a loss to a rival. GENG also did the same. I don't know, it's who makes the first move and kind of takes the series by the reins.
Well, Krana gets taken out, so looks like the LG defense can relax. First killer, I think, had a quiet start to the series that I just casted and definitely picked things up. And the desk were favoring mostly GENG just based on how things ended and how they leveled up as time goes on, as Chronic tries to control this ball off to the corner. First killer's off to the races. Jack will step up to find an angle on this net, but LG just closed that out.
There's a little backflip there from Chronic. Abjack and Chronic both go up for that one, which is a little dangerous, but first killer way deep in that third, ready to anticipate that ball. Magic Bear just wants out of his own half, but demos keep him home. And finally, Luminosity get out of their own side, but as quickly as it starts, they're back out, and you can see Chronic in the LG net already, which is an interesting sign, because if that's the play, if that's the plan against LG, I worry about them, because when the demos and everything were coming out on LG before, it felt like they tripped them up a little bit.
I'm like the cat meme of like, what's he doing over there? Like looking over the snowbank. What's Chronic doing in the net? There's like no one there, but Chronic is there this time, but she's had the clear denied by first killer, who has to now collide against Reddles. And LG, they've had these up and down performances, and even in the pre-show, I said that I think LG have been maturing and looking for more consistency, and I thought this was gonna be the day, and to be in a 2-2 spot, I should have listened to Gibbs and even you about how they're the round 5 kings, but we'll see if they'll be jesters after this.
To be fair, yeah, like you're saying, they are kind of the kings of game 5, but you know who else is the king of scoring? It's Chronic. He's got one of his own on this one. 3 minutes in is what it took GENG to break past the Luminosity defense. It took a demo and Magic Bear getting kind of caught off guard, trying to get back in time there for GENG to score. But a 1-goal game, that's not bad. There's more than enough time to tie things up here.
And we were pointing out how Chronic was playing deep and ready for the play, and Magic Bear was ready to slot this in. Even when Reddles got demoed through the smoke, it was Magic Bear that found success.
Oh, that's such a nice kickoff, but an even better demo from Reddles. Also, shout out to him. I think they said that he got his 2000th career demo. First person to do that in RLCS history, trying to make it 2001, probably like 20 at this point though. But huge shout out to you. Tied game here for Luminosity, looking to take a lead as well. Demo 1-1. Cheese tried to demo this one and let it roll, but it wasn't quite fast enough for that play to come into formation, I guess would be the word. But a pass over to Abjack, tries to get the dunk, it's a floater. Reynolds can't get the save, and GENG go up by 1.
Oh, just GENG overwhelmed the net. Beautiful pass from first killer and through 2 people. Through all that traffic, Abjack still somehow gets the goal in. And even LG on the previous play, I thought they were going to score. As you were pointing out, they're like holding hands, they're walking this in, but they were watching the front, but not the back. Then LG will have to watch their backs when they're getting demoed like this. GENG get to play hot potato, moving downfield, first killer up, and with this floating in front of the net, Cheese just couldn't get a handle on it.
This was really interesting. So you see the ball go forward and it's first killer who doubles. Magic's tiny touch on it allowed Chronic enough time to see that this ball was gonna go open enough that he could shoot wherever he pleased in that net. He did exactly that, and GENG go up by 2.
Oof, this is becoming a more dangerous lead as the seconds go by. 90 seconds. It's Chronic up in the air. Oh my god, and colliding against Magic Bear. And the second touch, the follow-up from Jack from the post back to him with love.
There is a huge wave of momentum coming in from GENG, and I get a little worried about Cheese right now. I think this is the second time I've seen him be the person that gets caught off as third man. It kind of just, it almost feels a little overwhelming for him at times, but again, you've got enough time that you could try and respond a little bit to this unless the lead continues to get extended here. But GENG is not going to let up on the pressure. They don't care if they're up by 2, 3, or 4 goals. They'll keep going.
And that's what you need. Just to keep trying. As Chronic drops us off, Magic Bear makes the save but needs to follow up. His first killer was looming and hunting for his chance. And it still is possible with GENG having Abjack have time and space, and LG are trying to not let him afford that. It's where the veterans of LG need to step up. Maybe this game is already over, but you need to encourage Cheese, and maybe he doesn't need nobody, because he can hype himself up after that.
No, Cheese definitely has solo play capabilities like no other. He's kind of like almost a baby first killer if you were going to be doing like head-to-head comparisons. But I think a big, crucial play, a moment in that play was Reddles going up for the bump on that one, trying to open up some space to alleviate the amount of pressure it takes for Cheese to be able to have plays like that.
I said maybe it looked over, but it's not impossible. This next play could be big, and Reddles waits back. Cheese holds the midfield, Jack off the ceiling, bumps Reddles off the ball, but Cheese gets a crack at it. Defended once again. GENG won't allow this to slip on by. They will not choke. First killer now can just send this back with a double just to add salt to the wound. I think now it's clear that GENG take game 1.
Unfortunately, nobody from LG went back to that backboard in preparation for first killer. And usually what happens is if first killer has a lot of space, dude's probably going to go for something off the backboard there. That's exactly what he did. Back off the kickoff, 4 seconds left to go. Maybe another one for the road home and just kind of putting your foot down. But GENG says they're cool at 5 for now. GENG, they take game number 1. Killer kind of shootout, and that's when things start to get a little bit more interesting.
And you pointed out how Reddles was like locking up these defenders, whether it's just bumping them off, going for demos, or whatever, creating those gaps. And I think Luminosity have so many wonderful opportunities because of that. It's all about execution, and it's all up to Magic Bear and Cheese to deliver those big goals. But a big person on the field too is first killer, who is just on fire. Like you said, everyone from GENG is having a great performance, but especially first killer. How do you shut a guy like that down? Well, LG are trying to figure that out right now.
Yeah, that's the question that everybody on LG is asking each other. They're like, how do we slow this kid down? And I think Boost Starvation is probably a really good opportunity because he tends to take things up into the air a lot, but so does Chronic. Great read off the backboard there from Magic Bear, also able to get that corner boost and try and carry this one past mid with Cheese. Unfortunately, everybody's got to race back as the touch goes forward. It's 2v1 on Reddles, and he still somehow manages to keep this out.
Wow, I can't believe Chronic missed that, and that's fine. It makes it for a more interesting game, but there's a wave of offense that will avalanche into this net as Cheese gets a hand up, pops it out in time, but GENG adding pressure. Reddles just still trying to keep this to the side. Jack against Magic Bear, and looks like LG still have to put up more saves, and Jack stepping up for the shot. Reddles keeps popping it up, but who can escort this out? Cheese doing his best, but his second man gets taken out, and Chronic is hitting a double off your backboard. What is going on? GENG will not let go.
How many demos did I miss? Or, okay, it was a demo on third and then a bump on Cheese, and the defense was just gone after that. Luminosity had no way to defend. Chronic had all the space in the world off that shot there, and GENG get an early game lead here, which is a little bit dangerous because when that happens, they tend to hold on to it.
Yeah, it wasn't even a double, but it seems like GENG are able to utilize that backboard, and LG are stretching themselves thin with someone trying to go forward and make the space to who is going to be on the backboard, who's challenging, and LG, through all the chaos, have to play perfect defense against this team because GENG will eventually find the cracks in that armor, and maybe how you start dealing with that is demoing them, and LG will get them off their back for a second. Reynolds now can't get a handle on this ball in the corner, so GENG get a good clear.
This was a pass over to Reynolds. Magic Bear didn't quite go for the bump on that one. Instead, Chronic takes it away. Cheese gonna try and slow things down on this. This one's up in the sky with Appjack. Appjack down, right into the hands of Cheese. A little bit of an awkward flick there and also no boost, but it's not gonna stop LG from making their transition towards that GENG net.
First killer will be there first. Pops it out to Chronic. You gotta be careful these passing plays. And thankfully for LG, they break that up and try to counterattack. Magic Bear will go up high for this. Reynolds off the ceiling to Cheese. First killer even pre-jumping in the net, but the shot doesn't even come through. And Chronic will not even slow down attempts off the backboard. And at least LG deny any kind of rebound after that.
Yeah, just slowing down the rebounds, like you say, are probably going to be the most crucial point to keeping this at a one-goal game for now. We've only got 2 minutes to answer off this one. Reynolds bumps Jack completely out of the way, but Cheese not quite able to just immediately send this one back. It feels like everyone's just a little slow to transition off of each other, but this is one of the better plays that we've seen off of it. Reynolds from the ceiling, Chronic around him, almost seemingly easy, but it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, scoring against GENG is not easy. I feel like they give up so little space, so little goals, and you have to go X Games mode against GENG. There's just no other way to say it. But Chronic, even in the last game, was playing deep, just ready for any pass going his way. But it's like GENG needing him to play this more from front to back and just take things just inch by inch, and GENG have a lead, so the weight is not really on their shoulders to come up with a plan.
Yeah, right now it's more about Luminosity playing catch-up against GENG, and playing catch-up to a 1-goal deficit you would think isn't insane, but again, against GENG, a 1-goal deficit is huge. They've been stuck there for just over about a minute and a half or so, and they haven't quite been able to find any sort of an opportunity. Instead, they're just taking turns going back, defending these GENG shots over and over and over again, getting stuck in their own half. And there's another one. This one popped up into the sky. One side over to the other. Finally, a breakaway pass over to Reynolds, immediately taken back by First.
LG are doing a great job of not letting the offense really materialize. Never mind. I guess Chronic just gets the solo. I thought someone was going to be in the net.
Everybody thought I was going to be the curse. It was you.
Bro, I was like, I saw Reynolds go for it. I believe. My bad.
There's time. 27 seconds. I got the coat for y'all. It's okay. Off the kickoff, Magic Bear forward. Another touch. Cheese to get the follow-up. It's too high, too wide. Most you can do is try again here. Pass over to Cheese. Can't again. These are just too wide of shots for LG. They're having opportunities, which is better than you can say what was happening in game number 1. But unfortunately, now accuracy is coming into the play, and that's kind of what's been the big hindrance in this game number 2.
Yeah, LG are trying to take these offenses step by step, but they get shut out. There's not a good setup that's getting developed. It's like attempted solo plays and the wide shots, as you pointed out. But this has just been an off day for them.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to describe it. It definitely has been somewhat of an off day for Luminosity. You take a look back at some of their results, and I think even just the beginning of the day for LG started off kind of weird for them. They went down 0-3 to Nether Americanada, those guys. They were having a rough start, and then of course they go down 1-3 to OG, which is kind of like their grudge match, right? And so it has been kind of, you know, hot and cold on and off for this squad. It's now a question of you've got your backs against the absolute back of the wall here. There's no more room left between you and the end. Can you find a way to slow down and surpass GENG?
I'm seeing Reddles be more active on that front of just being the one who attacks the ball that does the hard job of how do you get possession into the orange half against GENG, who have one of the best defenses in the region. So I'm seeing Reddles be more active and not just be the setup guy, not just be the physical and hope that the physical guy, then hope that Magic Bear and Cheese do the rest. So you're seeing the changes live here for LG as GENG, well, they're just hoping to close out the series quick and easy, although it's seeming like they're paid hourly with how they want to go all the way to round 5 for this.
Yeah, LG definitely, they're just playing the game that's kind of been handed at them, which is a little bit slower, but Reynolds wants to do something different. The mech packs are coming in handy. He got the pass, catches it off the ceiling, takes it with the reset in through, and Luminosity go up by 1.
I don't know, Gibbs, start taking notes, because that's a tough play in my book, especially in the scenario that Luminosity are in, having to reverse sweep the number 2, arguably number 1 team, and look how quickly that lead has dissipated.
Listen, if you're going against GENG, you have to anticipate a very quick response. That was a great pass there. Somehow, all 3 Luminosity players just could not situate themselves in a way that would have kept that ball out. But you know what? At the end of the day, they are still GENG. Now it is Luminosity's turn to try and respond to said goal. First killer over 1, tries to carry this one all the way down. Cheese meets him in the corner and keeps this one out.
Difficult save to make, and LG are still not out of the woods. As Jack will at least get a piece on this ball. First killer will move forward. This comes out to Chronic, who is too far forward, but Jack will put it back into a position that first killer can work with. He's already ready on the side wall. Jack, Chronic to the right. Now fighting for possession has been difficult for GENG as Reddles almost crept through all of their defenses. Reddles is doing everything he can to win this match for his team, and LG need to work together on this, and in the net too. Great save by Magic Bear.
Huge save from Magic Bear, but it's not going to end there. Cheese up next with the save from Jack's shot, and here comes Chronic. One more player to keep that rotation going. Magic Bear seemingly keeping this one off, trying to slow things down. Reddles around 1, can't get past Jack though, and Jack instead just gonna opt for the bump. The aggression just pushing everybody off this ball, but a huge clear on target from Cheese gives the answer to the goal that Luminosity needed oh so badly.
And that's gonna be the one that tilts the scales, just launching this. And I maybe am not surprised, because I've been noticing GENG playing very deep, very aggressive, thinking that they've just been commanding possession. Surely this won't go over their heads. And finally it did. Last time it was a close call where Chronic got a piece of it there, centered out in the field, but LG thankful now going into the second half with a small lead. But the last time they had one, I mean, GENG got rid of that super quick as Jack, it's an awkward touch that LG still trying to not have this centered out as they move forward to hunt for more.
I mean, at this point, if you're Luminosity, every decision, every touch you make from this point forward has to be completely methodical, and you can see it. They try their hardest, but at the end of the day, you can be smart with your touches, you can be smart with where you're setting yourself up, but it takes one bump from a player to put all of that into the trash, and GENG tie up the game at 158.
All of GENG are enabling each other. You love to see the selflessness of it's not just Chronic waiting for a pass. He's stepping up. He's getting set up by Appjack, or First Killer, who got a ton of goals himself. Who is a threat? Who is the person to shut down on GENG? Who knows anymore? But Chronic won't let this offense get away. This drops down to First Killer, has to see what Reddles is up to, and Jack climbs up. And the disengage from GENG. His First Killer looks for bumps. Now Chronic from the ceiling, Cheese and Reddles up against the wall, and GENG just keep trying to bait them out of the net, hoping for quality shots, hoping for that lead back in their favor. It's not been easy for GENG.
No, it hasn't, but what I feel could be making it a little bit easier than how it should be, GENG continue time and time again to steal the Luminosity boost. And I feel like that has been something that has been slowing down the pace of play a lot for LG, which they are probably not big fans of because it is making that transition so much harder than it should be for themselves. But right now, you've got less than a minute to go. You're tied game. GENG still coming out with the threatening shots, but they're a little bit slower to come through, which is a good thing if you're LG, right? You gotta slow things down a little bit, force GENG to play your game.
Yeah, that's a great point that being boost starved was not ideal for Luminosity. They finally got some to work with. Jack, it's stopped there right at the line by Magic Bear, less than 30 seconds. And Luminosity, they got space, they got boost to work with. But how do you crack through the GENG armor, whose defense looks impenetrable at times? For now, First Killer tries to read what Cheese is up to. And Jack, who's already playing deep, just robs Magic Bear. Now the last couple of seconds, GENG knocking on the door of trying to close out this series, but Reynolds gets away with it. He has a front man making the spaces, comes out, but Cheese gets demoed off the play.
That was terrifying. We see overtime match point for GENG. Off the kickoff is Cheese trying to push through. Reynolds sends this one back. Magic Bear off the backboard. LG getting pushed slowly into their own half. First Killer over to Abjack. This one's in. GENG sweep LG out, and they see another day.
Yeah, GENG are gonna see tomorrow. Luminosity gonna see the back of their eyes because they'll be sleeping tomorrow. What the heck is going on in North America? Luminosity, top 4 in North America, not making it into playoffs is insane.